Hello, how are you? I just thought we could discuss question 6. I just want to start by highlighting the mistake that has been made there. If you look in the diagram, there is a point which is marked P. That was a mistake. I think it's supposed to be N. So if one does not realize this, then you are bound to struggle to proceed with the answering of the question because N is not written. So please take note, this is a mistake, and treat that point P as point N. Now let's go through the question. In the diagram, ABO is a triangle in which M is the midpoint of OB and N lies on AB such that AN is 1/5 of AB. ON and AM intersect at X. OA is equals to small letter a and OB is equals to B. You are being asked to express in terms of A and OB OX. If you go to the diagram, OX is on the line ON, but we don't know what fraction OX is of ON. So in that case, if we don't know what the fraction is, we can always represent that by a letter K or a letter H. In this case, I chose to say OX is K of ON. That means K is representing a fraction. So we're saying OX is a fraction of ON, and that fraction is represented by K. That's very important because you may meet a similar situation like that where you have a fraction which is not given. So I suggest you represent that with either H or K. But you must check in your question to see whether H or K has been used elsewhere. So if you go down later on, you find that H is going to be used. So that then means you are going to use K instead of H, and that K to represent the fraction. So what is ON? ON is OA plus AN. Right? We are already given that AN is 1/5 of AB. So we're going to substitute for both OA and AN in the expression there. But before you do that, let's just replace AN with 1/5 of AB, and then we replace AB with minus OA plus OB. You may pause the video and think about that to see if you understand. If you have done that, you can simplify because we've got like terms there, OA and minus OA. So when you open brackets and simplify, you'll end up with this expression: K, open square bracket, 4/5 of OA. 4/5 of OA, we got it by saying OA minus 1/5 of OA, and then plus OB, which will be equal to, now when you multiply out the K, you will have 4/5 KA plus 1/5 KB. AN is what we are being asked to find. We are told already that AN is 1/5 of AB. And you know, when you have a displacement vector, you can always replace that by position vectors. So it means from point O, you'll go in the opposite direction to reach point A. Let's go back to the diagram there. You're at point A, so you go against this arrow. That's why you put minus. We're saying this is the minus direction, the opposite direction to OA. And when you get to O, you then go in the direction of OB. So you then substitute that here and replace OA with small letter A and OB with small letter B, and this is what you'll get for your answer for AN. ON is the next thing. ON, we know if you are to move from O to go to N, you will go through the root OA plus AN. So you will substitute for your OA within A and we already know what AN is. We found it earlier on. We replace that with minus 1/5 A plus 1/5 B. When we simplify, we'll get our ON as 4/5 A plus 1/5 B. The next part, we're being asked to find AM. AM is minus OA plus half OB. You can go back to the diagram and see that our M is there. So if you have to go from A to M, you would go in the opposite direction of OA, and you move in the direction of OB to get to OM. We know M is the midpoint of OB, so OM will be half B. So when we substitute, you will get your AM as minus A plus half B. Then we move on to this important question. You always get these questions in your examination. It reads, given that AX is it's HAM, show that OX is equals to 1 minus HA plus half HB. Now, you are to show what OX is, but you're given AX. So what that simply means is, the path that you are going to take to move from O to X, you must pass through AX. So the path that I will take, if we go to the diagram, if we want to find what OX is, OX will be equals to OA plus AX. That's the path that you are going to take. You've passed through the AX that they've given you. If they had given you MX, you'd go the other way around. But here you've been given AX, so you have to go through the path AX. So let's substitute now. We know that AX is HAM. So where there's AX, we are going to replace that and put HAM. But in part 4 there, we're already having our AM, which is minus A plus half AB. So when you multiply out this bracket, you end up with this expression. As you can see, A is a common factor here. You'll factor it out and put it after 1 minus AH, because here when you factor out A, you remain with 1, and when you factor out A here, you remain with H. Then you have your plus half HB. As you can see, you've successfully shown that your OX is 1 minus HA plus half HAB. Then in the next part, OX is KON, right? So do we have ON? If we do, let's go back. Yes, we have ON there, which is 4/5 A plus 1/5 AB. So we can substitute and say our OX is K 4/5 A plus 1/5 B. And we can leave it like that, or we can multiply the bracket so that we have 4/5 KA plus 1/5 KB, right? When you've done that, you would have solved for that part. So naturally, you can see that you have got an OX there with this expression in part B, and in part C, you've got an OX and a letter K there. So naturally, you are going to find that they are going to ask us to find what the values of H and K are, right? Which is what they're asking in the D there. So to do that, you will have to equate the OX in the OX here, which is the 1 minus HA plus half HB. You equate it to 4/5 KA plus 1/5 HB. So you will have here, that is your OX in B being equal to be your your OX in C. So you have this one is 1 minus HA plus half HB. This is HB, which is equals to 4/5 K A plus 1/5 KB. That is the one that is in C. So the next thing is we are going to compare coefficients. Compare coefficients of A, or you can say equate them. So you will have 1 minus H on the left side, and you have 4/5 K on the right hand side, and that becomes your first equation there. And then the next part, you are going to compare coefficients of B, which from the left you have half H, on the right you have 1/5 K, and that becomes your equation number 2. So from 2 you can see that if you multiply throughout by 2, you will have H is equals to 2/5 K, and then you can proceed to substitute this H into 1, so that you have 1 minus 2/5 K being equals to 4/5 K, and you have 1 equals to 4/5 K plus 2/5 K. So that will come up, when you simplify, it becomes 1 is equals to 6/5 K, which implies that your K is equals to 5/6. Substituting that into this one, this expression for H, you have H is equals to 2/5, where there was K, you are going to put 5/6, and you will have 1/3 when you simplify. So these are the values for H and K that you are being asked to find. So I'll leave part E for you to try. I've given you enough information. If you're still having problems with that, then I'll do a short video of that. But for now, I'm sure you are clear about how you're supposed to deal with question 6. Thank you.